Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about pipeline in PowerShell. So let us start the video. So basically what is pipeline? So pipeline is nothing but series of commands which is connected by pipeline operator. And what is that pipeline operator? So the vertical var character is used as pipeline operator in pipeline. And in pipeline, the output of one command is sent as input to other command from left to right. And the output will be in the form of object. It will not be in the form of text. And when we pipe multiple objects to command, so PowerShell will be sending only one object at a time. So we cannot send multiple objects all at a time only. PowerShell will be accepting only one at a time. And commandlets are designed in such a way that it can be chained together into pipelines. And usually it is written on single line. But still we can split this one into multiple lines for our better readability. And now we will be seeing how pipelines work. So when objects are piped from one command to another, so PowerShell tries to associate the piped object with a parameter of receiving commandlet. So receiving commandlet will have some parameter. So that parameter will be associated with the object property. So this is how pipeline basically works. And receiving commandlet must have a parameter that accepts pipeline input. So if any commandlet is used in pipeline and its parameter is not accepting the pipeline input, then we will not be able to use that one into pipeline. So it is very necessary that parameter of the receiving commandlet should accept pipeline input. And there are basically two ways using which receiving commandlet accepts the pipeline input. So either it can be y value or it can be y property name. And we will see in which case it accepts the pipeline input by value. So if the expected .NET type match with the type which is coming as input, or it can be converted to the type, then only it will be used as value in pipeline input. And there are other way it can accept the pipeline input by property name. And how it is accepting? So when the input object has a property of the same name as the parameter. So if any receiving commandlet is using any parameter which is of the same name of the property of the object which is coming as input from the previous commandlet. So this is two ways using which any commandlet accepts the pipeline input. And here we will see what are all those commandlets which can be used as pipeline input. So either it can be get commandlets. So whatever the output we will be getting using these commandlets, so those output will be used as input for the receiving commandlet in pipeline. And we can also use some external commands which is not native of PowerShell as pipeline input. And after that we can also use the content of any text file. So using get content commandlet we can get the content of any file, and the same content can be used as input for any commandlet in pipeline. And at last, we can also use import commandlets in pipeline input. So if we have imported any CSV and we got some output, so that imported output also can be used as input in pipeline. So these are some of the commandlets which can be used as input in the pipeline. And here to make you understand more on this pipeline, I have created demo. So let's see demo in this one. I have opened PowerShell in my system. This is PowerShell IESE. I have opened this one into administrator mode, and now we will try some of the examples and we will try to understand practically how PowerShell pipeline works. So with the first example, we will see the parameter of any commandlet which has option of accepting pipeline input. So to see that one, I will execute one commandlet which is get help. In this one, I will pass one parameter called start service, and again one parameter will be there which is parameter only, and I will pass the value as star. So as soon as we execute this one, we get list of all the parameters of this commandlet start service, and in this one you can see all the parameter has some specification in this one. So one specification is accept pipeline input. So we have to check the value of this specification. So basically you can see that it is marked as false, and where we have to search the parameter where this option is marked as true. So wherever it is marked as true, so that parameter only will be accepting the pipeline input. So if I scroll down, so we have found one parameter called input object. So if any input object is there and its value, you can see that it is accepting pipeline input as true, and it will accept it as by value. So we have one more parameter called name. So in name there are two options. So either it can be accepting by property name or it will be accepting by property value. So if it is accepting by the property name, so this parameter should match with the same name as property in the coming object. Then it will be accepting as by property name. And if that is coming as value, so type of the coming object and the type here should be matching to each other, then it will be accepting by value. So this is how we have identified which are all those parameters which will be accepting the pipelining. And to move to the other example, we will see how we can use the get commandlet as pipeline input. So first of all, I will use one commandlet called get service. In this one, I will pass parameter name and I will give some value ALG and bits. So as soon as I have executed these two, I have got its value. So one is running and the other one is stopped. And now if I want to either stop this one or run this one, so I will have to use either start service, and after that I will have to give here parameter name. So if I give here ALG, and after that if I execute this one once again, now you can see that both are running. So this is one way of starting and stopping the service. Now if I want to do these two operations in the same line, like if I want to get list of all the services, and with that also I want to start each of the services which I am fetching using get service command. So here only pipeline is applicable. So to do that one, I will have to use the get service, and again in name I will pass ALG comma. You can use any service name here. I have just used it for testing purpose. So till here I got the list of the services. Now I will have to use the vertical bar symbol, which is pipeline symbol, and here I will have to use the commandlet called stop service. So as soon as we get the output here, same output will be fed as input to the next commandlet, which is stop service. And although it is two objects here, but it will be sent one by one to this one and it will be stopped. So let execute this one. So I have executed this one, and now if you try to check the status once again, you can see that it is stopped here for both of this. So this is very useful thing. We don't need to write multiple lines of code in single line only. We can manage multiple operations. And now we will see how we can use the external command as pipeline input. So one commandlet is called whoami.exe. So this is basically not PowerShell native commandlet, it is external commandlet. And if I want to use this one as pipeline input, I will have to use the pipeline symbol, and I can use the commandlet which can accept it output as input. So I will use one commandlet called split-path, and after splitting this path I want the parent as return. So after I have executed, now you can see that this is the parent thing in this path, and if I want to get the child one, so I will have to use the leaf parameter. So I got the second item in this path. So this is how we can use the external command in PowerShell pipeline. And now we will see how we can use the content of any file as input in the pipeline. So to do that one, I will have to create one text file. So let's open Notepad here, and in Notepad I will have to specify that two services. So what are all that two services I had used for testing? One is ALG and second is bits. So I have written this one. Now I will save this file. I will save in this path only. I have given it name as services.txt. So I have created the file. So now if I want to get content of this one, I will have to use the commandlet called get content, and in this one I will have to use the file path and file name as services.txt. So we are also in the same path where this file is available, so that is the reason we don't need to give the full path of this one file. Dot means current path, and from that one we are picking this file. So after I execute this one, we will be getting the content of this one. Now if I want to pass the content of this commandlet as input to the other commandlet, so we can use the get service commandlet. So after I have executed this one, we got output of get service. So here you can guess that I have not specified the service name in this commandlet. So whatever the value it came, it is passed as input in the second commandlet, and we got output. So this is how we can get the file content as input in the pipeline. Now we will see how we can use the import commandlet as pipeline input. So I can use the one commandlet called import csv, and here I will have to give the services.csv. I have already created this file, and we have used one delimiter that is semicolon. So basically when we create any CSV file, so columns are separated by comma. But if you want to manually specify the delimiter, so you can use any character. I have used semicolon. So if I execute this one now, you can see that the CSV file contains two columns. First is serial number and second is service name. So this is how after importing the CSV we get the output. Now if I want to feed this output as input to another commandlet in pipeline, so in same line I will have to use the pipeline symbol, and after that I can use one commandlet called for each object. And here if I want to print only either service name or serial number, so I will have to use like this, and here I can specify the column for which we want the output. So if you execute this one, so you will be getting output for only the service name column. So again if I want the only serial number, so I can just copy this one and paste it here and execute. You will get only the serial number. Now you will see that I have used dollar underscore. So there is some meaning when you use the dollar underscore. It is like current object in the pipeline. So after we pass this one, if it is having multiple objects, so it will be passed one by one. So whichever is the current object and the current object has some property, this one, so same property will get printed. So that is the reason after I have used this property, the value of this one got printed over here. So for the first object, dollar underscore dot serial number property value was 1. For the second object it was 2. So like this we got it printed. So this is how I have showed you how we can check whether any parameter is accepting pipeline input or not, and we have also seen some of the commandlets which can be used as input in the pipeline. And now let's move to the other part of this topic. This is how we have come to the end of this topic, and to summarize this one, we have learned what is pipeline, we have also seen how pipelines work, and we have seen some of the commandlets which can be used as pipeline input. And at last we have explored some demo on the pipeline thing. We have seen how we can identify parameter which will be accepting as pipeline input, and we have also seen some of the commandlets practically in the demo which can be used as pipeline input. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.